They say some secrets are so dark, they don't just break hearts, they shatter souls. Today, the world hasn't just been rocked, it's been burned to the ground. 50 Cent, a man known for his cold truths, has just unleashed a storm that no one was prepared for. We're talking about a leaked video from a cold, lonely Atlanta penthouse, footage so haunting, so devastating, it shows Teddy Campbell in a position that defies every vow he ever made. But the real tragedy? The shadow in that room, allegedly Erica's own daughter. Can you imagine the silence in that penthouse? The betrayal that tastes like ash? When Tina saw it, when the woman who fought for her marriage through hell and back finally looked into the eyes of this ultimate treachery, her world didn't just crumble, it exploded. The screams, the rage, the sheer, unadulterated agony of a mother and a wife realizing her life was a lie. This isn't just a scandal. This is a funeral for a family. Tonight, we aren't just looking at headlines, we are witnessing the death of a legacy. Stay with us, because what you're about to see, you can never unsee. The world of celebrity relationships is often a facade of bright lights and rehearsed smiles, but what happens when the mask is ripped off in the most brutal way imaginable? We have seen scandals before, but nothing could have prepared us for the seismic wave of devastation hitting the gospel and entertainment industry right now. For years, Teddy and Tina Campbell were the blueprint, the couple that survived the fire, the duo that proved forgiveness was possible even after the deepest betrayals. But tonight, that blueprint hasn't just been torn up, it has been incinerated. The catalyst? A man who makes a living out of uncomfortable truths. 50 Cent, known for his ruthless social media presence, 50 has dropped a bombshell that has left fans breathless and families in mourning. He claims to have seen the unthinkable, footage from a high-rise Atlanta penthouse that doesn't just suggest infidelity, but a betrayal so twisted it feels like a script from a psychological thriller. To understand the gravity of this moment, you have to understand the history. Tina Campbell didn't just love Teddy, she fought for him. She sat on national stages and told the world that through prayer and perseverance, their marriage was restored after his previous public transgressions. She became the face of the forgiving wife, a pillar of strength for women everywhere. But as the rumors of this new footage began to circulate, that pillar began to crack. The reports coming out of Atlanta are chilling. We aren't just talking about a secret meeting or a fleeting moment of weakness. We are talking about allegations of a systematic betrayal involving someone so close to the family circle that it defies the laws of nature. The name being whispered in the shadows of this scandal is Erica's daughter, a revelation that, if true, turns this from a mere tabloid story into a generational tragedy. Imagine for a second the cold, sterile air of an Atlanta penthouse, miles above the city streets, where secrets are supposed to stay buried. 50 Cent's claim that he is sitting on footage of this encounter has sent a shiver through the industry. Why would he come forward now? Is it a personal vendetta, or is he simply playing the role of the ultimate whistleblower? Whatever the motive, the damage is done. The mere existence of these allegations has acted like a poison, seeping into the legacy of a family that spent decades building a reputation of holiness and integrity. This isn't just about a man losing his way, it's about the collapse of a moral sanctuary. When the news first broke, the silence from Tina's camp was deafening, but as the details began to leak, that silence turned into a roar of pure, unbridled agony. Sources close to the singer describe a scene of total devastation. Imagine the woman who gave her life to her family, who stood by her husband when the world told her to walk away, suddenly coming face to face with a betrayal that involves the next generation. It is a rage that transcends words. It is the sound of a heart breaking for the final time. Reports suggest that when Tina was first confronted with the possibility of this footage, her reaction wasn't just anger, it was a spiritual and emotional collapse. This is a woman who has nothing left to give, standing in the ruins of a life she spent 20 years trying to save. The industry is in a state of shock. How do you recover from this? How does a community that looked up to this couple for guidance move forward when the ground beneath them has turned to quicksand? The viral nature of 50 Cent's expose means there is no hiding. In the age of digital receipts and leaked videos, the truth is a predator that eventually catches everyone. The tragedy here isn't just the alleged act itself, but but the ripple effect it has on everyone involved. It's the death of trust. It's the realization that even the most perfect lives can be built on a foundation of lies. As we peel back the layers of this story, we are forced to look at the ugly reality of fame and the darkness that can hide behind a gospel melody. Teddy Campbell, a man once celebrated for his redemption, now finds himself in the crosshairs of a scandal that might be too heavy for even him to carry. This isn't a story of a mistake. It's a story of a massacre, an emotional massacre of a wife's faith, a mother's peace, and a family's future. The Atlanta penthouse, once a symbol of luxury, is now a crime scene of the soul. And as 50 Cent prepares to let the world see what he has seen, we are all left standing on the edge of a cliff, waiting for the final fall. This is the end of an era and the beginning of a nightmare that will haunt these families forever. Stay with us as we dive deeper into the darkness of this betrayal. The air in the industry has grown thick with a tension that is almost suffocating. As we move into the second chapter of this unfolding nightmare, the focus shifts from the initial shock to the cold, hard details of the expose itself. 50 Cent has never been a man to play by the rules of Hollywood's elite. While others hide behind publicists and carefully worded statements, he operates in the raw, unfiltered world of social media, where a single post can dismantle a career in minutes. But this time, it feels different. This isn't just a petty feud or a business disagreement. This is an accusation that touches the very fabric of human decency. The claim of a leaked video from an Atlanta penthouse has become the centerpiece of a storm that is threatening to swallow everyone in its path. To understand the weight of this, we have to look at the how and the why. Why Atlanta? The city has long been the playground for the rich and famous, a place where high-rise penthouses offer a level of privacy that is almost impossible to find elsewhere. It is in these glass towers that the most dangerous secrets are often kept. According to the whispers circulating in the wake of 50's claims, this footage wasn't captured by a paparazzi or a professional stalker. It was, allegedly, a moment caught in the shadows of a private life, a moment that was never meant to see the light of day. When 50 Cent hinted at the existence of this video, he wasn't just talking about infidelity. He was pointing a finger at a betrayal so profound it borders on the unthinkable. The involvement of Erica's daughter adds a layer of darkness to this narrative that makes it impossible to look away, no matter how much it hurts to watch. The psychological toll on Tina Campbell during this phase of the scandal is something that words can barely capture. For years, she was the one who held the line. She was the one who told us that love could cover a multitude of sins. But how do you cover a sin that involves the betrayal of the very people you are supposed to protect? Sources say the rage Tina is experiencing isn't the kind of anger that burns out quickly. It is a deep, cold, and transformative fury. It is the rage of a woman who realizes she has been a soldier in a war that was lost before it even began. Every interview she gave, every song she sang about restoration, every tear she shed in public for the sake of her marriage, it all feels like a cruel joke in the face of these new allegations. The rage isn't just about a husband being unfaithful, it's about the total annihilation of her reality. And then there is Teddy. For a long time, Teddy Campbell was the man who found grace. He was the example of a man who could fall and get back up. But if this footage is what the rumors say it is, there is no getting back up this time. The industry is watching a man's legacy crumble in real time. How do you look at a man the same way when he is accused of crossing a line that is sacred? The Atlanta penthouse wasn't just a location, it was a sanctuary of betrayal. It was the place where the vows of a lifetime were traded for a moment of darkness. 50 Cent's role as the messenger in this tragedy is perhaps the most ironic part of all. A man who has often been criticized for his lack of empathy is now the one forcing the world to look at a situation that requires the ultimate level of moral judgment. As the details of the footage began to spread through the grapevine, the public reaction shifted from disbelief to a collective sense of grief. Social media platforms have become a digital courtroom, with fans dissecting every move and every word from those involved. People are scrolling through old photos of the family, looking for signs they might have missed, looking for the cracks in the foundation that were hidden behind the filters and the fame. The betrayal of Erica's daughter, a young woman who should have been under the protection of the adults in her life, is what has truly broken the heart of the audience. It turns a story of a broken marriage into a story of a broken generation. The silence from the inner circle is starting to speak louder than any statement ever could. In the world of high-stakes celebrity drama, silence is often the sound of lawyers and crisis managers trying to plug a hole in a sinking ship. But this ship isn't just sinking, it has hit an iceberg of its own making. There is no PR move that can fix the image of a man caught in such a compromising position. There is no song Tina can sing that will make this go away. We are witnessing the moment where the music stops, the lights come up, and the audience is left staring at a stage that is empty and cold. The Atlanta penthouse stands as a silent witness to it all. While the city below moves on with its life, the halls of that building hold the echoes of a family's destruction. 50 Cent continues to hold the keys to this narrative, and as we wait for the next drop, the world is holding its breath. This isn't just entertainment anymore. This is a tragedy of Shakespearean proportions, played out on the screens of our phones. The rage is real, the betrayal is deep, and the fallout will be felt for years to come. The question now isn't if the truth will come out, it's how much of the family will be left standing when it does. The final chapter of this heartbreaking saga isn't just about the headlines. It is about the cold, silent aftermath of a life lived in the spotlight. As the dust begins to settle on the explosive claims made by 50 Cent, we are left looking at the hollowed-out remains of what was once considered a gospel empire. The Atlanta penthouse, once a symbol of prestige and success, has now become a monument to a legacy's end. In this concluding part of the tragedy, we witness the ultimate collision between public perception and private agony, as Tina Campbell faces a future she never signed up for, a future where forgiveness might finally be out of reach. For weeks, the internet has been a battlefield of opinions, but the true war has been fought behind closed doors. The rage that we saw in the headlines was only the surface of Tina's experience. Beneath that anger lies a level of grief that most people will never have to understand. Sources close to the family describe a woman who has spent nights pacing the floors of her home, trying to reconcile the man she prayed with every morning with the man allegedly seen in that devastating footage. How do you look at your children and tell them that the man they call a hero might be the villain of their own story? The betrayal involving Erica's daughter isn't just a wound, it's a total amputation of trust. It is the kind of betrayal that doesn't just break a heart, it changes a person's DNA. The industry's response has been one of stunned, uncomfortable silence. In the world of faith-based entertainment, there is usually a rush to offer grace and restoration. But as 50 Cent's Expose gained traction, the usual voices of support went quiet. There is a line that, once crossed, leaves no room for the standard PR apologies. The allegations surrounding Teddy Campbell have created a vacuum of leadership in a community that desperately needs it. We are watching the slow-motion collapse of a man who is supposed to be the poster child for redemption. But as the details of the Atlanta incident continue to drip out like poison, it becomes clear that this wasn't a lapse in judgment, it was a choice. A choice made in the dark that has now been dragged into the blinding light of 50 Cent's spotlight. The psychological warfare of this situation is perhaps the most brutal part. 50 Cent didn't just release information, he weaponized the truth. By putting the focus on the Atlanta penthouse, he forced the world to visualize the betrayal. He turned a private family matter into a public autopsy. And while many criticize 50 for his ruthlessness, others argue that he is simply the mirror reflecting the ugliness that was already there. The tragedy isn't that the footage was exposed. The tragedy is that the footage exists. As Tina navigates this nightmare, she isn't just fighting her husband. She is fighting the very image of the perfect marriage she helped create. She is a woman who is now a prisoner of her own brand of forgiveness, and the bars of that prison are closing in. As we look toward the future, the question remains, can a family ever truly recover from a massacre of the soul? History tells us that time heals all wounds, but history hasn't seen a betrayal this deep, played out in front of millions. The relationship between Teddy and Tina, once the cornerstone of their career, is now the very thing pulling them under. The fans who once stood in line to hear them talk about love are now scrolling through comment sections, trying to make sense of the madness. The viral nature of this scandal has ensured that these names will forever be linked to this Atlanta penthouse, not to the music, not to the ministry, but to the footage that changed everything. In the final analysis, this isn't just a story about celebrities. It is a cautionary tale about the weight of secrets and the cost of maintaining a facade. It is about the breaking point of a woman's heart and the irreversible damage of a father's choices. Tina's rage is the roar of a woman who is finally choosing herself over a lie. As the screens go dark and the world moves on to the next scandal, the echoes of that Atlanta penthouse will remain. The legacy of Teddy and Tina Campbell has been rewritten, not with notes of grace, but with the ink of betrayal. This is a funeral for a dream, a goodbye to an era, and a chilling reminder that sometimes the people we think we know best are the ones we don't know at all. The footage may be seen, the rage may be felt, but the healing? That is a journey that may never truly begin. For now, we are left only with the silence of a broken house and the memory of a love that was never quite what it seemed. This is a story that leaves us all with a heavy heart and more questions than answers. As the dust settles on these devastating allegations, we are left to wonder, how much can one's soul truly endure? We've seen the footage discussed by 50 Cent, we've felt the echoes of Tina's shattering rage, and we've looked into the dark corners of that Atlanta penthouse. But now, the conversation belongs to you. Do you believe that in a world of glitz and glamour, some betrayals are simply too deep for even the strongest faith to heal? Or do you think this is another case of the industry trying to tear down a legacy that was built on restoration? We want to hear your thoughts, but we ask that you keep them respectful, as there are real lives and real families breaking apart behind these headlines. Drop a comment below, tell us, can a marriage ever truly survive a betrayal involving the next generation? Or is this the final curtain call for Teddy and Tina? If this deep dive touched you, if you felt the weight of this tragedy, then please hit that like button. It helps us continue to bring you these investigative, emotional stories that the mainstream media is too afraid to touch. And if you haven't already, join our community by hitting the subscribe button and turning on the notification bell. You don't want to miss our next update, where we'll be digging even deeper into the fallout of this scandal and looking for the truth behind the smoke and mirrors. This is more than just celebrity news. It's a journey through the highs and lows of the human heart. Thank you for watching, thank you for your support, and we will see you in the next video. Stay strong and keep seeking the truth.